This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We have had some very interesting conversations with her thus far, and that continues today with our professional of the year. That is Stacy, the psychic medium. Now, she is somebody who does personal readings, but also at the same time has provided valuable information for law enforcement and agencies and organizations like that, tipping them off, providing them with insight. Interesting stuff we got going on here. Stacy, welcome. How are you doing today?
Oh, it's been an interesting week as always.
How do you deal with the fact that not everybody's going to believe? Just even psychics, there are some people, call it many, that I don't believe their stuff, and that's all good. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. Now take it layers deeper, where you're bringing to light certain things that you've got a vibe on. You've been contacted by law enforcement in the past to provide information for them and their investigations. But when somebody doesn't believe what you're saying, or they're not picking up on it, how do you process that, or do you just write it off? Like, no, all right, it's the way it is.
Once again, that's probably many layers to that as well. You first of all, you start off knowing I'm going in, knowing that they may not believe me. Like I said, I've had better luck outside of the state than I have had here. Some other states have used or widely been known for using psychics to help them solve cases and give them info. Mm-hmm. But there are times that people don't, and it's like, I get it. I will tell people, and especially if it's just individuals, that I want you to be able to discern. I want you to be a little bit skeptical. I want you to pull back, look at it, but I want you to, if you will, turn into that gut instincts and also that discernment that we all need to use, that most of us do not use, and we're taught and trained not to. But to use that and to tap into it, and you'll know if it resonates. Also, a lot of times I will know way ahead of the game. Sometimes it's been amount of hours before I know. And, I also do past, present, and future, but some of it has not happened and will. And I've had people come to me and say, oh God, that happened. Oh yes, now I know what you mean. And so you just have to kind of roll with it, knowing that it's there. And when it comes to law enforcement or any other agencies, it's like, I know what you mean. I provide them with people to speak with that have dealt with me before. I tell them where they can go, resources online, and that I am the real deal, and other specific cases. So I will make it a point to create a situation where they can check out the facts and details and know that I'm the real deal.
How do you deal with it when you're getting something and you feel that, it's important? How do you make the decision whether to raise the flag?
Call on it? That's a good question. That is also a learning curve with that. But to trust and know, there were sometimes when I get what they call downloads, I make sure that what I'm getting in is true, but it's just feelings that I get, and it's from a higher source. And I'm not a religious person, but very, very spiritual. But it comes from a higher source. It's a sense of knowing and inner knowing. And I will do a little bit of pendulum, but for me, it's always just been there. And I start, my whole body reacts to it. And I have visual sort of, I get chills. I get a lot of different cues that I'm on target. And then if I'm doing, say, an individual, they're going, oh my God, yes, and oh my God. And, sometimes they start to show emotion, be upset. And then with cops or law enforcement agencies or other agencies, just say, here it is. You may think otherwise, but I think it's very important that I get you this information, and that, and even law enforcement and upright law enforcement and people that know what they're doing, they use their intuition. They tap into it. When all else fails, they're sometimes tapping and going, no, I need to trust this. I need to trust that gut instinct and go with it. So I've had others doubt me, and it's like, well, I'll give you this information, but if it comes around that you did nothing, you did not act on it, you did not take it seriously, and something unfortunate happens or bad because of it, then that's on you. But unfortunately, I do take that to heart, and I do take that very seriously.
Is there a level that you feel inside in terms of importance about something that
Yes.
you're sensing?
Yes, absolutely. I've been places like in Omaha, in Lincoln here, that I'm like getting the radar is just going off. I'm going, oh God, I have to give this. One in particular, which I've already brought up, which was urgent, was calling the Offutt Air Force Base. And that was in 2018, but that was major, very major. And I thought, wow. And I found myself, I like, for all the years I've been here in Nebraska, I've only been to Offutt twice. And that the second time, I all of a sudden found myself pulling up in front of Offutt. I thought, oh my God, I've got to give this information, no matter how crazy they think I am. I'm used to it. I spoke to somebody else here in Lincoln. I literally got some backup here, had them call, and they said, yeah, we're going to go with this, trust this. And they did so because I heard the results of it later on.
Wow.
So in confirmation, but there are times, and like if somebody's getting ready to, I'll get information and somebody's getting ready to kill themselves or they should be on suicide watch. I've had that happen. I'll end up in weird places or end up going, okay, now I know why I'm here. I was brought here intentionally and more divinely guided, spiritually guided.
I want to talk about intuition, and that's got to be what's piloting you. And when
Yes.
you get something, tell us, the rest of us that aren't psychics, but I believe, and I think we mentioned this before, that you believe that we all have a level of intuition.
Yes. We have
So,
all the ability to tap into that, and we need to honor that. We all come, universally speaking, we're all very connected, and that is how we are on a soul level, on that level.
what do you feel? What's going on when you've got a premonition? You're feeling something, one of those things where you're wondering whether you should say something. What's that feeling?
It feels, sometimes it can feel really a little bit daunting. Some of it's going, I need to call somebody. And I was just speaking to you about there is a certain case going on in Las Vegas right now of somebody who's gone missing, and I did get in specific information.
Okay, well, hold on a second here. This is a little odd. I was just looking into going to Vegas, where I have a friend who is a performer, and he's going to be doing a show there. And I literally was, before we just got on here, texting another friend asking, hey, if you want to go, this is the date. How bizarre.
Yeah,
that's one of the other 50 something things.
The synchronicities in life. And that's,
right?
Whether it be something that somebody says, whether it be numbers. I use lots of cues. It's just, and I've been being deluged for the past week, and it's been coming in. And I've also been experiencing some heavy negative psychic attacks. When people know know certain things, when you have certain information and they don't want it out, yes, you're going to run up against. But instead of, they do it at a distance. And we talked about this in the last podcast. But yes, I was just wondering whether I should, and FYI, be careful when you go, please.
I haven't booked it yet, so maybe it's good we're talking. I don't know. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I want you to be careful on your do be careful. Okay. Yeah, there was information I was getting in, and I was going, okay, do I get this? And I was trying to cipher out if there have been any reports about this case so far. And this just happened. So out of Las Vegas, and I'm hoping it's good news, but I haven't heard anything because this just happened. So I'm debating, thinking I should probably give some information, but I got in specific information. So
now, what does that feel like when you say you've got
specific information?
Yeah, what, aside from the information you have, what are you feeling?
A little bit. It makes me a little bit anxious, nervous, because it could make or break them. You could actually help them find, or you could help stop, or there's a little bit of pressure there. And also that, and I'm thinking about the individual, the people that's going to happen to. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking, go God, something, I've picked up where bomb energy goes off, and, literally I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't care what anybody, I need to report this. I'd rather be wrong. I'd rather, or maybe there are times when I'm getting it way ahead of the game and it hasn't happened yet. And, but it's like to alert people that, okay, this is the area you need to alert people. Wow. And keep tabs. But I'd rather do that but to me, it focuses on, it's no longer about me. It's about the gifts I have. There's a reason I have them. And it supersedes me. It's much bigger and much greater.
Does it feel like something in your stomach? Is that where it centers when you have that feeling?
Sometimes I get tingling all over, crown, as we call it, the crown chakra area, third eye, crown chakra. Is a lot of times where you receive the information, downloads. I do, sometimes some pendulum and ask some questions and guidance and go within and say, do I need to report this? Should I? And sometimes I give it just a little bit, tad bit. If it's urgency, then I just go ahead and go with it. And if I feel it's urgent, if it's, and usually, a lot of these cases, time is of the essence, and just go ahead with it. But, and I let them know who I am. I don't mince words. And then, of course, the crazy card, which I'm used to that by now. People, defamation of character, especially when you're exposing people in situations, that's what they run to, is defamation of character. And once again, we don't cipher out people who are truly gifted and psychic to people that do have mental health. And that's not to devalue anyone with mental health, because some of the smartest, brightest people I know have mental health, and hopefully they're able to get the help that they need. But some of the brightest people I know, intelligent people I know. So,
would you say at this stage in your life that you don't care what people think? This is you. This is what you get. This is what in terms of intuition,
Well,
feeling, and all of that. Where maybe back in the day you were a little worried that I wonder what people
well,
think. And
in more ways than one, because I was raised around people that made sure I played it small, that I didn't know who I truly was, and kept that hidden from me. That they made sure that that I didn't use my gifts, and there's a lot of gaslighting. We've been hearing that term quite frequently, but um, that definitely was used, and
mm,
deflection and projection, and all in an effort to not only keep you small, but to not let the world let you shine, let the true essence of who you are shine through. Uh, but I've had to learn, I've had to go within and once again trust and do a lot of healing and a lot of work on myself, and be proud of who I am. And sometimes when I'm out filming music, I do say that. I say, I'm proud of who I've become, but I put the message out there that I want others to recognize that within themselves and to honor themselves
mm.
and to trust whatever that journey may be, whether it be something that I do or some other journey in life that they should be taking, that they may be ignoring because of either who's around them and they don't trust themselves or the journey that they're on. And but that you validate yourself, that it's internal instead of external. And that's very difficult. That's sometimes a ongoing process of
Mm.
learning to trust yourself and the internal validation instead of the external.
It sounds like this really does come back to your intuition and the feeling you have, and don't ignore it. There's a reason that you're getting it.
Yes, there is absolutely. There's a reason I would be getting some of this in, and if I don't use it, to me that's I'm just not only dishonoring myself, but why it was given to me in the first place, and my ancestors and others. I feel like this is my way of honoring.
Mm. Do you feel like this was a gift? You have a gift and you can't ignore it.
No,
It's calling you. It's ringing the bell,
right.
if you will.
Uh, Sometimes the sledgehammer comes
Okay.
in.
Mm.
Sometimes it's like, hey. And then I have like other energy trying to get a hold of my attention. It's like they're not going to leave me alone. And so it's like, okay, here I go. Here is the information. I'm sorry, I have to give this to you. Um, and usually, I've had, as far as individual, I've had people that are glad that I've given them the information. Emotional, sometimes they get, because and then sometimes their response is the validation.
Mm.
Speaking of validations, is that that it's truth in what I'm giving them.
Gotcha. Wow. The intuition thing, I've found myself in the last year or two really listening and letting it elevate, letting it come up and recognizing it. And I can go back to every time I didn't listen to it and
Yes.
I blanked up bad. Life life changing. Life changing.
Not even the good kinds is what I always say.
No, unfortunately not. And
And
I know, and even something that presented itself in the last, shall we say, 5 years. And when it presented itself, I spoke with somebody who's intuitive like you, because this is before we met. And I was like, on the phone, like, I can't believe this. There's a pause. And this person says to me, you knew, didn't you? No, I didn't know. No, you knew. And then I shut up and I'm like, yeah, you're right. because I ignored my intuition.
Well, and I think too, some of it is we don't want to be
Yes.
embarrassed. We don't want to feel like we're foolish. We do not want
Yes.
others to believe that we are. And so that sense of feeling a sense of shame, which is sometimes deeper than anything else, the sense of shame, unfortunately. We live in a society where we shame-based. But usually that's what you're, getting in, and it's why people refrain. And they're thinking,
Yeah. And also, a lot of these things are, they're big. So there's
yes,
going to be change. What do
yes,
most of us not like? Change. There's fear involved in it. You have to find the courage to say, I'm listening to what's coming up for me, and I need to make a change.
and
And
sometimes it's for the better. Sometimes it's actually good.
well,
The
yes,
change.
you're right, but when you're in the thick of it, you don't know it.
No, that's absolutely right. And it's difficult. It's difficult
Yeah,
for all of us.
100%. Well, I give you a lot of credit. It's difficult for you to step forward and make these proclamations that people could look at you and say, "Well, it's Stacy. I don't know, a little out there." But if you believe in it, you believe in it, and that's the way it should be.
Like I said, I've been used to that, and it's just you have to stand firm and believe, and then if it helps even one person, then I've done my job.
Yes, yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use a cliche, but you're the messenger. It's not like you
Right.
created the situation. It's not like you asked for it. It's not like you're
Right.
doing anything
I'm,
to, harm anybody. It's just like, I got this.
I'm the
I'm giving it to
conduit.
you. You're the
I'm
conduit.
yes,
Uh,
I am.
And it's up to other people to do whatever they so choose with it. It's yeah, even that one incident, that I mentioned. If somebody told me about that, I I probably would have reacted the same exact way. It was, but it was my intuition that came up. But if somebody said, "Yeah, hey, I want you to know," I probably would have reacted the same way. And how did I react? Sucked it up, had faith, had trust, and things like that. And
That's right.
then it went wrong.
Yes, and it's a sense of trusting and knowing and having faith, and I don't mean that. Well, I do in a spiritual sense, having faith and trust, and
Yeah,
sometimes that's hard because it's literally blind faith, if you will.
yeah, yeah. It's well, you know what? All I can say is everything is, in my view of it, everything's a lesson, and that was a lesson. And my lesson is that I pilot by this based on my journey, and that included love everyone, trust few. Sorry, trust few. Always do the right thing for
Right.
all. You can always say, "Well, I did the right thing." Yeah, to better yourself, but what about everybody else around you? It should be do the right thing for the greater good, which it sounds like what you're doing in terms
Yeah.
of just delivering the information based
What
on
I'm getting.
what you yeah, and based on your gifts, if you will. Stacy, how does somebody connect with you if they are looking for deeper answers, maybe even personally? What's the best way?
StacyThePsychicMedium.com, and you can reach me on Instagram and Facebook, primarily those two. You can reach me on, I'm out on YouTube and TikTok, but actually Facebook and Instagram would be the better bets.
Gotcha. Thank you for today. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. As always,
Yeah,
appreciate
likewise,
you.
but giving us courage to make a change if we feel that we need to. And you know what? If you think that you need to, you probably do. Use your
Yes.
intuition. All right, we'll catch up soon. Thanks again.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.